Hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, hello. Who as uh okay, Sue is here. Okay, great. Hello, hello, Sue. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Got in at last.
Yeah, I welcome everyone and I welcome Sue today because she's going to announce the names of those speakers who are going to be there at Punta Cana. And Sue is, by the way, our VP Education, and I'm VP Marketing for ASI Global. And so it's such a pleasure to interview you and be with you on this live. I mean, I have to say, I love listening to you. I'm
Oh,
sure people who will be listening to you now, they will be excited as well, just like me.
oh, bless you. It's always lovely to have fans. Thank you, Shuba. Oh.
And how's the weather, by the way?
Here today, it's lovely. It's really sunny, but yesterday was torrential rain, and it's already very dark in my office, so it would have been very bad if we'd have had this conversation yesterday. So the
True.
out. For those who are celebrating Thanksgiving as well, right?
Yeah, we just hope that people are able to join us today for this one. So what would you say about the criteria? How did you and the committee decide on these speakers?
Okay. Well, I think the first thing was obviously looking at the actual theme of the conference, creativity in action. So that was the main lens that we used to really look at the sessions to see, are we learning something new here? You know, something new about what we do already, or maybe something that's for the future that we've never heard of before. And that was really the main criteria. However, it's not that easy, it's not that simple, because, of course, what you've always got to putting together any educational event is think about your audience. And
True.
so, in terms of our membership, they live in different countries with they have different levels of experience, they have different attitudes, and they have different interests. So we had to go through everything with a really fine tooth comb to make that final edit. And that's why we took a little bit longer than we did actually add a week for submissions. And then we were a couple of weeks later because we had 94 submissions. And to
Wow.
anybody listening out there that submitted and didn't get in, please don't think it was because, you know, we didn't like you, it was no good. It wasn't anything to do with that, because we really also had to look at the kind of content so that we weren't biased towards one thing. So, for instance, you know, it's no good having a conference all about, for instance, you know, we needed to have different topics for different levels of experience in different languages.
And there's always another chance. So even
All
if
of
they
that,
didn't get through this time, maybe next time.
it's all time. And, you know, the group, I always have a committee that thinks slightly differently to me. Because, you know, if it was just down to me, I'd whiz through and go, yes, I like that. Yes, I like that. But obviously, this is not Sue Donnelly's conference, right? This is the AICI International Global Conference. And so I needed other people's input. And, you know, my team have been absolutely superb. Generally, we were pretty much on the same length as we were the conference before. But that's why it has been a little bit difficult. So, yeah.
But I think right. But now that we have chosen all the speakers, would you let us know about the number of speakers? Because when I came to know, I was a little amazed. But then it's good for the people who are going to
Got
be there.
24
Wow.
I ran out of printer ink the other day, just printed them off. So we've got 24 pages. I counted the number of, in terms of the sessions, some will be 1 hour, some will be 2 hours, as you probably know. And at any time, there are 3 sessions on at the same time. Generally in different languages, not always, but generally in different languages. So we do have 45 concurrent sessions, but we have more speakers because sometimes the sessions have 2 speakers and there is hopefully 1 session that's going to be a panel. So there'll be more speakers there as well. In terms of the schedule, we're still finalizing that. There's a number of reasons really why, and I'm thinking of this more from a presenter's point of view. You know, where do people live? How long have they got to recover before they get? You know, some people are traveling an awful long way, so it's no good putting them on first. So we're just, you know, we have allocated all the slots, but we may just jig around a little bit. But you know, that's good. The other good thing is that if anybody really does need 2.4 CEUs, you can get them from this conference. So yeah, so if you work hard, I mean, I'll probably be going to sessions anyway, so you'll only be working as hard as I am, but 4 CEUs is yours to have if you need it. And I think that when we first floated this conference, Sylvia was saying, you know, the really good thing about this conference is the first where you can work and play at the same time. So if you don't need 2.4 CEUs, you can be very strategic about what you want to go and sit, and then take the rest of the time with a cocktail on the beach.
Right. And how many days are these speakers going to speak?
Right. Yeah. So it's a full agenda. So we literally start at 9 o'clock on the 1st, the 8th, and we finish at 4:15. The ceremony is 4:15 on the 11th. So every day is packed. There are some things in the evening, well, like the gala dinner, award ceremonies. There's a cocktail timers meeting. So there are things going on. And of course, you know, there are lots and lots of restaurants. I don't know how many restaurants are there, but there's a lot. And all of that, and all of your beverages.
That's all covered. So people who are going to join, please be aware that you are going to not just have a leisure time, but also you're going to gain a lot of knowledge, because each day speakers will be there and they'll be sharing their knowledge with us.
Yes, absolutely. And I hope that it's going to be fun. You know, I think I saw the graphic that went out on the email, and it said, you know, something like from colour to cocktails. And I think, you know, that's absolutely right. You know, and everything in the middle of all of that as well. But I do think, you know, yes, come to learn, but come to have a good time as well, and come to meet people. You know, I've said this many times before, but, you know, AICI has been so prevalent really in my being an international speaker. You know, if I hadn't have met those people who I call my friends now, none of that would have happened. So it really is a great place to network and meet people and learn from them outside of the session.
Yes, and people who will be joining, I think they can get inspired by those speakers, and next time, especially the members, they can also try being a speaker next time, because like you mentioned in your previous interview as well, that it has helped you gain that kind of acknowledgement in different countries, and people call you as a speaker. Of course, you're a great speaker, we all know. So people love to listen to you in different countries now, because through AICI, people know you as a speaker. You're a great speaker.
Yeah, and I think most of the speakers would say the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
a conference is a real honour, actually. And yes, I think it is going to be a
great conference. Yeah. So why don't you tell us about some keynote speakers, because I think people present here, including me, they all want to know about the keynote speakers. Who are these people going to be?
So let me unveil them. So first of all, I have to say that both of them have TED Talks as well. If you are interested in learning more, you can look them up. Their TED Talks are very inspiring. So we have a keynote speaker on the first day and a keynote speaker on the last day. So let me go to the keynote speaker on the first day first, who he's called Eva. And for 10 years, she was the editor-in-chief and the CEO of Condé Nast, so the editor-in-chief of Vogue and the CEO for more than a decade. So, you know, she knows an awful lot about fashion. But since that time, she's moved away to Miami and has really, I guess, started to do more with entrepreneurship, as well as kind of academic life within the fashion arena. So, you know, that's really her thing. I'm just going to read off here because I don't know everything in the Miami area, but she's on the advisory board of Tony and so Latin America. So she's quite a big name, I think, in Latin America in terms of fashion. And she, I mean, I've spoken to her. She's delightful, really lovely. And her session is going to be on something that has really been something that I've done many times in my career, and that's reinvention. So what it's doing with the reinvention session is looking at not trying to change who we are, but going into that place where maybe we think what we're doing isn't anymore. Maybe if I'm bored, bored really easily, you know, what can I do next? What can I do next? And so she's going to be looking at all of that, whether it's lack of confidence that you've got right now, or whether you're absolutely fine now, but you might need this for the future. She's going to give lots of hints and tips and interactive to help us to move forward with joy and to be able to connect with all of our clients, whether, you know, those are the clients you've got now or maybe future clients different, but without losing the essence of who you actually are. Because at the end of the day, you know, you have to be authentic. It's no good that other people do just because it's the trend if it's not who you are. So I think that would be absolutely wonderful. And she's done this with clients many, many times in the past, so she really does know what she's talking about.
Absolutely. And we, you know, during these sessions we actually learn so much that we are able to incorporate it in our own, in our courses or whatever, you know, we kind of a service that we are providing. So it's a great advantage.
Reminded me of that because I think, you know, one of the, you asked me about the theme for all sessions, but of course the bigger picture is that I want people to become excited about trying to do something, moving out, you know, and kind of being really inspired to do that rather than a place of fear. That's what I really want. And because I think that, you know, we all love the business we're in. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going to wouldn't be a member of AICI. But so we do get stuck, especially what's happened over the past few years, you know, with COVID and these kind of things. We do sometimes need to maybe think slightly differently. Where do I want? How has it changed me?
Right. Right. And people are kind of lost when it comes to fashion, especially after COVID. So I think we do need something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the second speaker is completely different. Completely.
Great.
And her name is Das. If you're Brazilian, you may know who she is. She lives in Madrid now, but she is a photographer and she's also very involved in human rights. And she has an internationally acclaimed project called the Human Eye Project. And what she aims to do is look at true skin color. I think that if you are interested in diversity, which I think hopefully all of us are,
yes,
interested in colour, as in, you know, hair, skin, eyes, all of those kind of things, this session is a must do, because I think that she's got some really different ideas about how we look at people's skin tone. And I'm so she's calling it photography as a tool to empathy.
Wow, that's excellent.
I
And
know.
I think color analysis itself, too, you would agree, has been a topic that every image consultant is excited about. So hearing it from a different perspective and you know, learning something different about it, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think so too. When I watched her TED talk, I was bowled away actually by it. I really, really was. Yeah, that she's going to be super. And if Lillian's on here, as she probably is, but it was Lillian's idea to get her. I can't take any credit for this.
So Lillian, this one is over to you.
Yeah, and that was her idea to have Eva Hughes. So I'd love to take credit for it, but credit where credit's due. It wasn't anything to do with me.
Thank you, Lillian, for this one. And Sue, also let us know about other speakers whose topic is like entirely different, and that's why they have been chosen this time.
Well, I think there are so many of them, it would be difficult to go through all of them. So I'm just going to pick a few maybe themes and things, if that's okay. So
yeah.
One of the things that we really wanted was to look at future proofing, if that makes sense. And, you know, what's happening in the future maybe, or what's happening now that we don't really know much about, or, you know, where do we need to move to? So one of the topics that I know absolutely nothing about at all is the metaverse. I know really.
Yeah.
I think Zara's having it or something, but that's as far as...
Too science fictional.
So I thought, oh, the metaverse would be quite good. So we've actually got 2 different sessions on the metaverse, looking at it from different perspectives. So we've got Charles Gregory, who's a kind of fashion designer, deals mainly with men's clothing, who's doing one session. And then we've got Faye Lucchese and Natalia Marrero, who are doing the other session. So they're looking at it from a slightly different point of view. So there's 2 sessions on that. I think in of corporate as well, because we've got corporate as well as personal here. There are quite a few sessions, like Sarah Brummett is doing one on high. In other words, you know, how do you communicate now? And some people are at home, some people are in the office, some people are wearing a suit, some people are wearing jeans. You know, how do you communicate with all these different factions now, and make it relevant? We've got also Coca Sevilla looking at politics. We've got Lula here also looking at how do you get into the corporate market, because, you know, for some of us, we want to do that, but we don't know how to. And we've got Ceci as well looking at the clothing that people should wear now. You know, all of these things have changed, and what does that mean for us as professionals? So that's all the kind of corporate bits. I mean, there's more. That's just a few highlights. What I'm always really interested in is mind and body. I've always passionately believed that clothing is wellness. So I'm always really interested in anybody that can talk about how do we align all of this when we're either dealing with our own issues or clients' issues. So one that really wrote actually was Emma Willman, who is the president of Australia chapter, and who is doing a whole session on embodiment.
Wow.
I know, I don't know what it is either. All I know is, and she's written a whole great paragraph on it, is it's a way to make us feel absolutely fantastic as well as looking good. And so I'm thinking, well, we all need a bit of that, right?
Right. We want to feel complete, and we want to feel you know, that's whatever we have, whatever we are wearing, whatever we have done to ourselves with regard to makeup or hair or whatever, we want to feel complete.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, there's been times in my past where I say sometimes I've turned up feeling a bit of a fraud. You know, I have that kind of syndrome, you know, what is it, imposter syndrome, where maybe I don't always feel that, that we should be there, that, you
Yeah,
know enough or something like that. And I think Emma's going to do a lot of exercises, physical exercises, I think,
that's
get us
wonderful.
with who we are inside. And I really like that. We've also got Denisa, who is looking at body positivity, which again, I think is something that we really need to embrace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of us have bodies that we wish were different.
We,
By the only
especially after COVID, Sue. What do you have to say about that? Bodies have changed after COVID.
and also, you know, fashionable bodies are changing. I mean, you know, up with the Kardashians, but I think Kim Kardashian's changing her body shape now, isn't she, to something that's now less rounded, shall we say, than it was before.
Yeah.
So you know, all of these things do have a bearing, especially on younger people. I think, you
Mm-hmm.
know, people who aren't confident maybe with the way they look, and I think it's very important that we look at that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eileen Lane is looking at being stuck. You know, what do you do with your stuck? And she's introducing the chakra system in.
Hmm.
I've worked with the chakra a lot in the past. I mean, I'm not as practical, but I've had it for me, and it's amazing. You can get them all spinning at the same time. I guess Eileen is going to try and get them all spinning at the same time, so that's really good as well. I think
Lovely.
another buzzword recently has been resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Cindy Ann Peterson's doing a session on hope and resilience. And I think in some of the other work that we've seen as well, this kind of resilience or kind of trying to get over the blockages, picking yourself up, there's a lot of that touched upon in some of the other
Yes.
well.
Yes. I think that's the beauty of the conference. I always feel that AICI conference, it covers all the aspects of image. It's not just fashion. It's not just the external things that make us beautiful, but also behavioral changes that we need to make in our.
Absolutely. I think there's a few sessions on, you know, a client's essence as well.
Mhm.
Whether it's done with elements or whether it's done with other tools, there's quite a few, about 2 or 3 sessions, I think, looking at how to decode your client. And certainly there's one on neuroscience. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And about global businesses, we've got quite a few looking at how do you grow your business, you know, a nomad business or a bigger business. So that I think will be very interesting as well if you want to be more international. And there's also a session how to elicit trust. And I
Oh,
think the word these days, gosh, we need it. We need to trust them.
yes.
On that as well, with Craig Jeremy. So I think it will be really good too. And if you want something fun, we've got Ashwin Devan looking to be a superhero.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Quite fun. Like Wonder Woman or something like that.
And I'm sure there are going to be workshops so that people are so engaged and they do have fun along with the learning element.
And you know, I think that's what this is all about. We did some research. We did find that color was something that people, especially in Latin America, were very interested in. So there definitely are some color sessions as concurrent, but also we're hoping to put together a panel of color experts. So that will be a kind of panel discussion activity with a moderator. So I'm looking forward to that too. And hopefully that will be on the first day. I'm not sure.
Excellent.
Yeah. So lots and lots of things to look forward to.
Awesome. So people and I mean the speakers who have not been mentioned in this live, please do not feel disheartened, because we will be posting about you. Yes, I mean, it was impossible to cover all the speakers, as Sue did show you that there are 24 pages with the name of the speakers. So it's completely impossible to cover all the speakers. But Sue has tried her best to cover as many speakers as possible. But then we will be on our social media, be talking about the speakers. We will be posting the details of their topics, their sessions. So please stay tuned and keep checking out our posts and stories, so that you know more about the speakers and what they're going to talk about.
Absolutely. Well, at some stage, I mean, there will be the whole conference brochure will be published with the schedules, everything in there. So you see absolutely everybody, what they're speaking about, when it's going to be on, how many CEUs it's going to be worth, and so on. And I think maybe, I mean, this has not got nothing to do with me, it's probably more to do with YouTube, but I would imagine you might be interviewing speakers, or maybe we'll have little videos so we get a feel, I think.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's hard down, on.
True. And even last time when our virtual conference was there, we did have videos where speakers talked about their session, and they talked about who they are a little bit. And then it did help the people to understand what it's going to be like. So please stay tuned, and please keep checking out our social media posts and stories. That's really...
say, to everybody that submitted, just a huge thank you, because it's a hard thing to submit something, and especially if you've never done it before.
Yeah.
I know the first time I did it, I was terrified, really. Once I pressed the send button, it was like, oh my God. And especially if you weren't accepted this time, I just want you to know that it wasn't anything to do with you or your session. It's just all the other things that I've spoken about. So don't let them off. And if you wanted to do a teleclass, a webinar like that, with that subject, then please let me know, and I will make sure.
Sure, because that's another way of letting people know that you are a speaker, even through a teleclass. And maybe next time, like I said, there's always a next chance there. So you can be a speaker in the next conference, and there's always scope for that. I mean, I was so excited last time when I was selected as a speaker for the virtual conference, and it was amazing. And being a speaker at the conference is such a privilege and pleasure.
It is, absolutely. And this time we have cocktails as well. I should look forward to seeing glasses with little umbrellas in. I mean, Edwards is actually, he can shake all the cocktails, I think. I think Edwards said he's learning to do that professionally. So I shall be seeking him out.
Absolutely. Great. So, anything else that you want to share about any other speaker, or anything like what's going to be towards the end? Is there anything besides the last speaker, the second speaker that you mentioned? Anything exciting towards the end?
I think, obviously there's the awards and the gala dinner as well. I think that's on the night before the last day. Oh, Edwards is ready.
I'm ready.
So I think I've lost track of the days, but it will be on the 10th, I think, is the gala dinner. And of course, there's the fashion show and all those other things going on as well. So there's plenty to do. I mean, there's absolutely plenty to do. And I really do think that the sessions are something for everybody. I really do think there's something for everybody. I forgot to mention as well, Maria Pier's doing one on astrology.
Ooh.
Maria Pier.
Amazing. Is that going to be on the last day?
So I will look forward to that, to see how my star sign would want me to dress. I just think all of that's very interesting, right?
that's kind of important because the new year, we would have stepped into the new year, so we would be more excited about knowing what's going to happen in 2023.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, there really is. We have gone out on him to look for things that are slightly off the track. Um, I think that the other thing that I would just say is we are aware that some beginners will be there, and so there will be some sessions that are a little bit more. I don't want to say traditional, but we don't want to scare beginners off with all this creative stuff, and they think, "Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore." Because that would be so. There are some there that will be absolutely suitable for somebody who's just joined the industry as well.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's important. We do have people who have just become member of various chapters, so they do want to learn something that is going to help them maybe clear CIC or have the basic knowledge or strengthen their basic knowledge. So
try to do to strengthen it slightly, because obviously we do have training providers that can do all of this wonderful training if people need it, but there are some sessions like on men's style, on pricing, that kind of thing that will be there. The color as well, that would be suitable for beginners as well. Can we have classes on the beach? Well, I don't know, maybe.
maybe Edward can have his own classes starting from
Creative teacher to go out and do it. We'll do it in our swimwear. I quite like that. Yes, that'd be.
I'm just imagining that happening.
Oh yeah,
Classes at the beach.
with sunstroke or something. Yeah.
Great. So I think so we can sign off now, but hopefully we'll be meeting. We will be doing another live again, and we'll also be having speakers again
Yeah.
on this live. So, like I said before, audience, please stay tuned for more. And Punta Cana conference, we are all excited about it, and so let's stir up the excitement and so just be be we should look forward to more things, more exciting things now.
Absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to listening to the speakers. Inspire you to go to their sessions, because you don't want to keep hearing from me.
No, we still love that, so that's it.
We want to hear from the really important people.
Okay, so me, Shubha Joshi, VP Marketing, signing off for now. And Sue, thank you so much for being here and telling us about the speakers.
You're very welcome. And look out for the catalogue. The catalogue of all the speakers will be out very soon.
Yes, please. If you want to know more about the conference, then you can also visit our website, aici.org. All right, very excited. Edward is saying, I have reserved my rooms and plane tickets. Thank you everyone for being here. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.